Question mark. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Peter Show podcast. Woo! I'm here with my man, the boy, the legend, Chris Moon.
Offensive slur.
Whoa! That wouldn't be the first time. I wouldn't be surprised if I went back and found something horrible. You know. So
Anyway, hey guys,
it's the
glad
Chris
to be
Moon.
here.
I don't know if that's true, Chris.
I am.
I didn't force you to come here.
I do not have. My family is not in a basement in Chicago.
How'd you know? I mean, you know, he's very safe. It's actually California, but
Chicago, California.
California. We hate California. Grr.
Yeah, sure.
We
Anyway,
I hate California like with a passion. Why is that the thumbnail? I should probably change that because if you might have noticed, we had to change the art of the channel because
copyright reasons.
that and also the person who made it doesn't like me. It's not very swag, but you know. I don't know why. I
Not
don't know
very
why it's that. I'll fix it
positive.
later. If they have a complaint, they can complain all they want. Anyway. Oh no. All right. Let's see. Let's see if this is running on my phone. I'm gonna go on the stream and
I got the notification, so that's something.
awesome, awesome, awesome. This stream is working. I can't confirm. Should we play? We should probably play.
So
No.
yeah, the name Dungeons, Dungeons, and More Dungeons. What absolute fucking genius came up with that name?
Oh, I wonder. This is actually Chris Moon,
It must have been
guys.
a really like the next Einstein to come up with something like that.
Of course, but of course.
And
What's a fitting
love
song for it now?
feeling.
Probably the. Oh, I know exactly what's a fitting song. I'd probably get copyright for this, but I don't give two flaps. Um.
Welcome to the Peter Show.
So where I don't know. This better not be like a remix where it's like hardcore. I just want a nice calm music in the background. No, that is not what I was looking for. I'm not trying to look for some neon explosion. And yeah, so I decided to run a game of Dungeons and Dragons. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a very fun game.
And I was unfortunate enough to be one of his players.
Of course, I brought him just because I might forget a lot. We've done a lot. We're pretty far in. And not because Jesus, what was that? Not because we played a long time, but because of the fact that we just play so often.
Yeah.
Like
I also have like a steel trap of a mind, so I remember a lot of weird details that happened.
yeah. Why am I getting all the creepy stuff right now? I'm just trying to find some music, and it's showing me like freaking unnerving YouTube videos, the smile tapes.
What about Weird Al?
I'm just looking for some calm music, man. Oh, I forgot. I literally have an album for this. Where is
What about
it?
CIA Party in the CIA?
Yeah, perfect song, guys. Today we're playing D&D. I wake up at 7 a.m. and then you know, bum 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 bum.
You're a Canadian idiot.
Fair. So I feel like this is
They're
kind
all
of fitting.
songs by the one and only Weird Al.
Now I will admit I got a little bit of inspiration from freaking Konosuba for this D&D campaign because Konosuba's fun and you know D&D whenever I played it I always already felt like it's fantasy, obviously it's the same thing, but like whenever I played I'm like I just had a feeling of Konosuba.
I don't get it.
You should watch it. I think you'd enjoy it. Very funny show.
Is it an anime or is it a cartoon? Because I
Anime.
tried to offend you. This is actually a cartoon.
No, it's a good anime. You should try it out.
Yeah, I just heard when people call anime cartoons, people who watch anime really don't like it.
Oh,
So of course I started
I don't
saying
really
it.
care. It's Japanese cartoons. I mean, I've been watching it for horrifying amounts of hours, and I can. Well, like, so here, I think I watched over 5. Well, okay, let's not go on about how much dirty weeb. Let's focus on the fact that we play D&D, which is cool. Not really, we're nerds. Well, according to my calculation, anyhow. Well, yeah, we play D&D because we're just so cool. Of course. Other reasons? No. We're just so cool. Now with D&D, me and Chris, we often fight to the death in real life, and so we started off the campaign. You'd never guess where. No, not. It's not technically a bar. It was the Adventurers Guild bar, which.
We also had a bar in Adventurers Guild.
Uh-huh. It's but the Adventurers Guild is, I kind of got, for the first chapter at least, is a lot heavily Konosuba based, because in Konosuba you see how they start off very poor and like cold, and they're sleeping in the stables, and they go to do like missions to barely get by and pay, and they go do kill quests and get money, and I don't know why that kind of stuff seems like such a fun job. Like, I wish I could have a job like that, where I go out and kill monsters.
Fucking face and get a paycheck.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to have a job where I can just rip apart things and come back like honey, I'm home. I finished killing a horde of zombies last night.
Yeah, back to the nerdy stuff. I have like 600 hours on Pokemon Shield alone.
Oh my
Different
gosh.
stuff like that.
I can't confirm we're both nerds. I watch anime and have anime merch, and I love D&D now. So add to the add to the freaking pile, as if I didn't have enough reasons to be considered a nerd and a loser. But you know what?
Books that rival adults.
That's funny.
That's not a joke.
I know it isn't.
My mom has a coworker who plays Dungeons and Dragons, and I have more books than her.
That's concerning. Anyhow, so we started off, bro. I have 3 books.
I have 4 and some character books somewhere around here.
Okay. Anyhow, so let's give a whole story about the whole campaign. So.
Can I talk about my character right now?
Oh yeah, real quick. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I am a centaur. Everyone knows what those are. It's the half horse, half human people. 2 guesses on which half is which. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm a hexblade.
I wish you were a freaking head horse, body human. Alright, continue.
Yeah, just like the top half of the horse is just horribly unstable.
Yeah.
And then
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so yeah, they were a hexblade warlock. Warlocks, they'd make a deal with a patron, which aren't gods, and they get power. But this one just found a really cursed sword, and now they're a hexblade warlock.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're multi-classing into paladin,
which is ironic.
I got a paladin warlock. But yeah, my character used to be in the army. They're kind of a veteran.
Pretty cool guy.
Makes sense why he was on the street homeless.
And then he joined the party.
We're getting political.
And then he joins the party out of desperation for money, I'd assume.
Political.
Now,
waka.
Next up. Next character, next thing, let's just give them the full story. So I'll give it since I actually remember it all, but if you want to fill in any details. So we started off the adventure, and in this world, it's called the World of Rina, which is basically just a giant planet. It's 10 times the size of Earth. It's just very widespread. It's huge. It's bigger Earth. That's all there is to it. It's big, and there's these 5 big guys. There's these 5 ancient beasts. I haven't actually described these to the party much, which is kind of ironic.
You have not. This is the first time I've heard about these guys.
Yeah. It's gonna be a very important aspect of the game soon. Not yet. That's the reason I haven't brought him up properly yet. It's because I was kind of waiting. But Chris, worst case scenario, they watch this. Wow, they know one of the important things about the story. Who cares? It's not a spoiler. So, um, there are 5 beasts, and I'm gonna be honest. Probably one of the main reasons I haven't told you guys about them is because I haven't finished the specifics about them yet. I just know 2 of them, which are the most important to this story at least, and those are I'll play in the next song. I'll play some Nintendo music. I don't care. Just let them sue me. I'd rather vibe. I'd rather vibe. Yes, the song's so good. And there's 5 big guys, and and 2 of the ones that are actually important as of now, at least, are actually, I think the song's too distracting. It's really good, but it's a little bit distracting.
Oh yeah, and also just real quick, what we have we also have a lizard folk druid and a warforged artificer.
Which are those are like the main. There's a lot of other guys, but they are very on and off.
You got a paladin guy, which I'm kind of stepping on his shoes by more people listening to paladin, but we don't really talk about that.
Oh, I'm gonna play some lo-fi Mario. Oh, bro, lo-fi Nintendo music. That stuff is fire. I know I fall back on it a lot on the streams, but come on, it is such a nice thing to listen to.
Yeah. And also, sometimes plays where he just plays Cloud from Final Fantasy.
Oh my god, yeah, he comes on every once a year. So this is really cool in my opinion. So what we have, for us at least, is there's 5 great beasts. Let me finish this. And one of them, and the ones that every single one has a different aspect of what it controls. And they're keep in mind, these things are bigger. Wind. Actually, no, not quite like that. More like chaos, law, order, stuff like that. But these are titans. These are humongous, ginormous, like Godzilla type creatures. Like, they are the biggest thing in the whole games, and they are like about, I reckon, I don't know, 800, like up to like
3 stories tall.
I was thinking more like 2,000 feet tall. Like, these guys are giants. You may or may not have to fight one at some point.
I'm gonna punch it with my sword.
Oh yeah, that'll work. Anyhow, but these guys are huge, and there's a war, because before now there was a fight between 2 of them, being I don't know what they're called, the Titan of Chaos and the Titan of Order. The Titan of Order makes sure that everyone lives. Everything keeps everything making sure that people can't use fireball and do 100 d20s. Basically, it's just my rules is the Lord of Order.
The rules lawyer of the gods.
Exactly. He basically just keeps balance in the world. And Chaos wanted there to be more monsters because he wanted more chaos. Wow, chaos. Really? And so they got into a fight, and ultimately Chaos lost. But
the Chaos Emeralds.
But one thing they didn't account for is the soul of the Chaos beast, and it spread, and the remnants of the beast has spread around the land a little bit, which our party hasn't found out about yet. But you will be
really hard to kill a Titan.
You'll be seeing some stuff with that, and but these Titans, they rule the world. Basically rule the world, and beyond that, so that is the world setting. That's it's a very green, very huge. It's basically just an enlarged, beautiful Earth. Like anything you can imagine, it probably exists on that planet. Now, above and beyond that, you have, though, in this world, you have, not much else, but there's lots of different lands. They start off in a very small town. I think I called the town Raya, which is kind of funny because it's close to Rena. But like the Raya River, there's a Raya River crossing through. Think of one of the most basic isekai towns ever. Wall around the outside of the city type crap, and that's basically where they're at. The most basic. Oh my gosh, no! Like the most basic. No, now I'm gonna think about having the Attack on Titan thing. Anyhow, but the most basic, starter town possible. It's very simple. It's very nice. There's large fields outside. There's a swamp area outside, which they might go visit soon. But
What could possibly go wrong?
anyhow, and they're also pretty close to the sea. Now they're starting off. This is where the game actually starts off. Is we had a lot of players for the session because it's the first session we did it in real life. We've been doing Discord sessions, which is actually surprisingly fun. Where you just literally call, say, "Oh, I do this," and then it all works out. It's really fun.
And no one has been getting any suspicious amount of luck.
That's not true. Logan's pretty sus.
He's gotten a lot of 5% chances.
Yeah, may I say? I mean, sorry.
There's like a 5% chance to get a nat 20, and he's been getting a lot of nat 20s.
I might end up accidentally targeting him a little bit more in the games, but we'll see. Yeah, but I think it's fine for now. Whatever. Now, in this world, they started off at the Adventurers Guild, and they found out that the night before they all got really drunk and started bashing up stuff. And ironically enough, wow, I'm so creative with this, guys. Don't give me a award or anything, but like I named
we owe
the
a lot
Adventurers
of money.
Guild.
We need to pay it back. We got no money.
I named him
to
Peter.
For.
I named him Peter. I made the Adventurers Guild leader. Well, not leader. The guy, the receptionist who they work under. Peter. Thanks for the creative name. I know. But
the guy we talked to get the missions.
Yep. And I gave them some quest options, which you do not understand how much work I put into those quest cards, which is why I was disappointed to find out that we used most of them online, because like I literally designed those. You gotta admit, you could tell there was some care put into those. Like I spent like 20 to 30 minutes on every single one of those cards, just making sure they looked okay. Like, cause I'm not very good at drawing, so I wanted to make it look at least entertaining.
You reused one of the missions that we didn't take in the dungeon.
Oh, that's right.
The 3 giant toads.
I actually didn't quite. Yeah, I just remade that because I thought that'd be funny. Yeah, in my head, I was like scrolling through the monster book. I'm like, oh, that'd be ironic, wouldn't it? But there's a lot of. The monster the toads were straight out of Konosuba, like literally straight out of Konosuba. But so I made those quest cards for them. And the first quest they went on.
First quest we fought the bean god.
Well, let me explain so it makes sense to them. Because if you're not a player at our party, that makes no sense. So they go to the thing, and before they go on a quest, they meet these two guys. There's Glar, the old one, which is some short old man who's a gnome.
Country guy.
And then there's there's Skeeter, who's a gunslinging whip using white guy, country guy. Yeah. And they chose Skeeter, which is sad because he actually got killed off immediately. And actually, little did they know that would actually change their story route, which will lead up to in the dungeon later, which you guys will find out about soon. But Skeeter, they chose Skeeter, and Glar was left at the place. Glar being the old man. And they went off to the church.
I would also add something real quick. I did not start the adventure as Albus Beck, my centaur. I started the game as a high elf wild mage sorcerer.
Well, that's right. I remember that character. I was actually like ready to give him I was ready to use your backstory for stuff and everything, but no, you changed it. I'm like, I gotta scrap this part of the adventure. And yeah. Anyhow, so continuing now from there, so they're both religious, by the way. They both served under this church, but the church they went to were having some complaints because there was random beams of light and magic flying from that church, and it was really loud and gross, and people who were sent there never came back. So Ryan, fun fact, we have this guy in our thing, guy named Ryan, And his character is perfectly balanced to be able to literally one-shot any damn creature in his path. We calculated his damage output for level 1. He's able to do up to 400 damage in a turn with legal rules, and that's scary. That's scary as hell.
Yeah, I got some help from some guy that knew the game really well.
But he's a spooky guy, so that's why I was careful around him with my plays.
He's an
But
orc ranger, I think.
yes, yeah, he's an oak rogue, I think. Wait, is he oak? What is he? He's an orc something, half orc something.
Full orc ranger.
Half orc ranger?
Full orc.
Full
Ranger.
orc ranger. How the hell did he find a way to make ranger useful? Anyhow, continuing. So, because the joke is freaking rangers considered one of the worst classes in the whole game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they just don't have any specific use compared to the other two. Anyhow, but he's really overpowered.
Wait, can I explain about something about Ranger real quick?
Sure.
They have two abilities that are very stupid. Favorite terrain and favorite enemy.
Crazy.
They do better in a certain terrain, and they do better against a certain type of enemy.
That is pretty weird.
Like undead, celestial, goblinoid, humanoid. If you're fighting one of those and you're that certain type, you're fine. But if you're not fighting one of those, and you're not in your preferred terrain, you're basically useless.
That is true. Yeah, there was excuse me. I have by the way, I've been sick for the past 3 weeks. If you guys didn't know, like horribly sick, like coughing up blood type sick. But yeah, let's continue with D&D. So
yeah,
for starter, I coughed the blood. Anyhow, D&D, am I right? So in D&D, I was. Oh yeah, yeah. So they went over there and they found out that the god that they were praising, at least Skeeter and Galar were, was a literal bean person, like a short little bean, and it was like screaming, and it was very powerful. It had the most powerful magic spells. Like it was like I think I made it like level 15 and had like insane magic spells. And then Ryan went ahead and two-shot it.
Yeah, because the wizards don't have.
And it was one of the hardest quests. And I already planned this event for something else, but I decided, hey, on your way back, guess what you encounter? And then they encountered a chain devil on their way home. And then we ended the session there because we didn't have a lot of time. Guess who wasn't able to play for like 3 weeks? It took us 3 weeks to beat a chain devil.
Yeah, I would also like to add something. Halfway through this fight, I did change into a cleric.
Yeah, you literally just like, yep, now I'm this.
I was a half-orc cleric.
You switch a lot.
Alright, so in real life, the reason every time I changed was because I got a new book, and I wanted to use something from the new book.
See, yeah, listen, with the D&D thing, oh yeah, well, let's just finish the story, or else we're gonna be here for forever. No one's gonna wanna listen to the story.
Devil.
So we fucking thing. You guys eventually. I think Chris almost got killed because he was literally. So what happened? So you can actually hear some action, because this sounds pretty boring if I'm just telling you events, not actually what happened. So like the chain devil was, swinging its chains. You can attack with 3 chains around, and so it was like ripping everyone apart. And at a certain point, I made it do a little event thing where it grabbed Chris's sides and started ripping him open, and he had to roll like a dexterity saving throw to get out. But he failed, and he almost got ripped in half until someone saved him. Which that sounds like such a cool scene to see, like whilst we're being like literally. And also there's this cool thing. I'm gonna be honest, this is not in his actual moveset. I only added it so we can have some more fun, because I already knew you guys were gonna kill this thing despite it being pretty powerful. I gave it an extra move called Well, it actually has another name, but it does something different. It's called Animate Chains. I don't know what it actually does, because I was too lazy to read it, and I was very new to monsters and stuff. But I didn't even know what dexterity saving rolls were then, so I kind of just said roll a d20. I didn't know there was a actual thing for that. But
Yeah.
and
Good
so
idea.
I just started being a DM, and I barely even played D&D. I played 5 sessions, like 4 sessions. I'm like, yeah, I want to be a DM, and I didn't do half bad for the first 2 times, but it was kind of carried off story and world setting. But anyhow, so after Chrysalis gets ripped apart, they finish it off. Also, oh yeah, I gave it a move. The extra move I gave it was I just made it have 5 chains instead of its 2. It had 2 chains usually, not 3. It had 2 chains usually, and I gave it 5 chains because there is a huge party. I figured they'd be fine, and surprise, surprise, they were basically fine beyond the fact that Chris almost died. But they dodged all its attacks. I don't think I added the plus to hit, so they might have been doing a lot better than they should have been. I think realistically, if we redid the battle in the same style, they would have all died if I did it properly. But who cares? But that happened. So after that, they went on their second quest. And their second quest, what was their second quest?
I think it was a big troll.
Yes, it was either the troll or it was the wyvern. I think that one. No, it was the troll. Yeah. No, you're right. It was the troll. It was the troll, and then it was the
Wyvern, and then it
No,
was
It was the troll, and then it was the gang, and then it was the wyvern.
troll, gang, wyvern, the fight.
So they fought a troll. It went to the big old forest. Well, not forest. There was like a field, but there's a forest up ahead where a troll came out. Blah blah blah.
Troll had a friend.
Battle stuff, and they actually destroyed. They actually had a little bit of a tough time with the troll at the beginning, but they got a hold of it and they started, ripping them apart. They won, and then another troll comes out of the thing. I'm like, and I specified because keep in mind they're all still level 1, and we have leveled up so much.
Level
Jesus.
2.
Oh, you were level 2 then?
Yeah, we started at level 2.
We started at level 2. That's right. I forgot. I gave them the option to start at level 2. I don't know why that's an option, but I gave them the option too. Because certain people didn't want to level up from 1.
Someone wanted to multi-class at the start, so you started at level 2.
Yeah, that's right. That's why it was. But I'm like, yeah, so you guys can all start at level 2. And so after the whole shenanigans. Oh yeah, but they I said, hey, you guys don't have to fight the second troll. You guys can run away. They're like, no, we have this guy on our team named Logan. We already mentioned him about the cheating thing, but I don't think he's actually cheating. He might be like a couple of his rolls because he does miss. Even though he has great modifiers, he does miss time to time.
I have great modifiers.
He might be cheating like once or twice, but anyhow, he's pretty cool. He's my personal favorite character, character wise, like design wise. Like
all of my characters I've ever made.
His is my favorite out of the parties because everyone is cool, but he's the most like cool when it comes to like usability and like diversity because he's a warforged. And he basically just like crafts stuff, and he has a bag of holding, so he keeps grabbing up all these troll bodies and all these bodies from everything. He's always the kind of guy who will kill. Like we killed a bug. This is later, but in a dungeon we killed a group of bugs, and he's like, "Well, do they smell bad?" I'm like, "I guess, yeah, they would smell pretty horrid." And then he's like, I take the blood. I'm like, why? He's like, I'm gonna make stink bombs. And he did. He put them to great use, actually, in this recent battle, which I'll tell you about later. But anyhow, so they killed the troll, they got their money. And then they went to the next one was the gang, which they met this guy named Latch, which I'm gonna be honest, back when we had another person in the party. Huh?
His name was Schmieder.
No, that was my character's name back in the old campaign. No, his name was Latch, and then we switched to Schlatt because that's who he was. So I like a YouTuber named Schlatt. I think I've talked about him in past podcasts. But and me and my friend at least then we were friends. I don't know. They stopped being friends to me because of stupid drama. It's really sad. I didn't even do anything. Is the worst part. But whatever. Cope, Peter. But me and them would fanboy over Schlatt and YouTubers like that. So I thought they'd like the idea of me adding literally Schlatt to the party. Jay Schlatt, and I named him Latch, which is just Schlatt mixed up, which I thought was fun. And it was fun. I really liked playing the character. He was a literal human fighter, the most generic thing, but he had a gun. So he was a fun guy. He is a fun guy. I think they should use him a little bit more, but at the moment, Glar is arguably 10 times
not
better.
So subtle.
Huh?
Subtle hint, not so subtle.
Well, no, like Glar is better for now. I'm just saying, whenever you guys lose Glar or he leaves the party. Also, I'll mention that when it's time. But yeah, they go there and they stop the gang. Freaking Logan's idiot ass kills a bunch of the thieves. But the reason they were stealing was so they can get meat and give it to the poor and make money. But Schlatt's ultimately, he was still making money. He was still doing a bad thing while doing a good thing. It's really complicated. He was still being he's still being a scumbag. He's still being a scumbag. No, even to the poor people, he's being a scumbag. He's being a good guy while being a bad guy. But anyhow, he's like monopolizing the meat market by stealing from butchers and whatnot. But he returned his meat and turned to join the party because he knew he'd make more money there. And also, he's like, here, I got sources for you. I don't want to die right now. I'm not in the mood to fight you guys. Here, let me join you. And they recruited him. And the party moves on to fight a wyvern, which was the hardest thing they fought then at the time, which they did very well, actually. It was not a very memorable fight. All that really happened was the wyvern flew to side, and they kind of whacked it and eventually died. So that happened. I don't think there was any losses. And then, this is the most important, wait, but no, don't forget about the beginning, though, because before then, they met a kid who was pretty cool, because he had, there was a kid at the Adventurers Guild, because every time they finished the quest, they'd obviously come back to the Adventurers Guild, because that's where they stayed. They slept there. There was there's a hotel. It's a hotel room at the top, and they came back, and there was a kid with a dragon. Not a proper dragon, I forget what the name is, but it's like something that's used to ride on, typically used to ride on. But it's like a mini dragon. It doesn't have any breaths or anything, but it's a flying lizard, I guess.
Yeah.
But he had it, and everyone, they obviously recruited him because they got a free pet dragon with him. But he's one of my favorite NPCs, at least when it comes to what he does in battle. Is because he's just a little kid who has monsters like he has a curse to where he's a lot weaker than he would be usually, but he has a better affinity with monsters and animals, so that's why he's able to have that pet dragon. And he also has
the Disney princess.
Yeah, and he also has these other pets, which they haven't asked him to use because everyone just likes him using their dragon. I don't know. But he does have other animals he could use.
Does he have a pet Tarrasque in his back pocket?
No, but you already know what he does have in his soul. So they go on to fight. Okay, everyone knows I'm the biggest ReZero simp. That is my all-time favorite anime, all-time favorite show, all-time favorite piece of media in existence is ReZero, because it is a wonderfully crafted show from every piece of it, and it's one of the most memorable and loving things in my heart. But that show, I took a piece of inspiration from it for the final battle of Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is pretty short now that I think about it. But but the final battle, it was against the white whale from ReZero, which is a really cool monster if you didn't know. In the novel, not in the novels, in the anime, in the books, they uh, whenever it blasts someone, it erases them from existence. Now, I went easy with the white whale stats for them because I kind of was tempted to save it for a chapter 3 battle, but I ultimately chose not to. But if I did have it for a chapter 3 battle, I'd make it a lot tougher because it was realistically supposed to be like 10 times the strength of what it actually was. Because it's supposed to have really cool abilities, but I didn't give it that many. I only gave it like magic resistance because of the feathers, like just like in the books and anime. But
And I died.
oh yeah, Chris died. He actually died, which we used. I made a new system of which Peter, he actually is a spellcaster. He just isn't good at fighting in the slightest, so they never send him out with anyone. And he used one of his revives on Chris, which he only has 3 of. So they only have 2 left, so hopefully no one dies properly. But Chris was the first and only death in the full campaign, and it's because he got one-shot by the white whale mist. Because I got my full damage output on him. Like,
Yep.
I rolled all the perfect things, and it just and blasted him out of existence. And
That happened.
it did happen. It was probably really cool looking in the thing, probably not very cool to deal with as Chris Moon. Now, everyone, yeah, everyone else, they eventually finished him off. Everyone else was like crippled at the end of the battle. Logan, of course, being Logan, gathered up all the feathers to use the magic resistance and all that. And they revived. They were literally considering not reviving Chris Moon, just let him make a new character, but they ultimately decided to revive him.
I mean, I did have like 30 ideas, but I still wanted to play this guy.
Yeah. So ultimately, Chris was revived, and they defeated the white whale, which is one of the coolest battles because it's one of the largest creatures. Because weirdly enough, D&D creatures aren't as big as you think. Like a Tarrasque, it's only like 50 feet tall and like 80 feet long, like which is huge, yes. But I thought it was like Godzilla size. I thought it was like 200 feet tall. Like I thought it was scarily huge. And literally, the white whale is 50 feet long.
No one new is here.
Huh?
Hello.
Someone new has entered.
Oh, why is that?
I don't know.
Jaden, why are you here?
We're talking about Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, actually, let's talk about that. Yeah, so Jaden is a very smart guy, and he decided to play the first campaign, the first time we played D&D. He joined. He was there. He was a player. He actually asked if there was a butt on the... Yeah, he asked if there was a butt on the Chain Devil just so he can use Fireball up it. I sadly said yes.
No, it wasn't Fireball. It was Create Bonfire.
Oh, yes. Sorry, it's Create Bonfire. And then he played that one campaign.
It was Create Bonfire down his throat, not up his butt.
He asked if it could be up his butt.
Have a butt.
Yeah, I told him there was no butt. Anyhow, he did that.
You gotta understand. If I have a rod, if I have a staff, bro, that shoots fire, and I'm fighting a dude, what do you expect me to do?
To cast fire at his head. I don't know, not his up his ass.
You said his skin was immune to fire. All right.
His skin wasn't fully immune. What was it? I don't think it was. But Jaden played one campaign, the first one, and then just never played again.
He didn't even get to see me change characters twice.
I came up with a genius idea, but like, I don't really want to say it live. But yeah. I'll have to talk to you later, Peter.
All right.
We'll have to enact it on Monday. Also, we might need a fake email.
How about you start enacting in the goddamn D&D? Play the game for once.
Phone number.
Jesus Christ! What are you planning on killing someone? All right, we're also gonna need some fake fingerprints. We're also gonna need some.
Are you able to mute yourself on the stream for like 30 seconds?
Just text me.
No, I could speedrun it, trust me.
No, I can't. I'm trying to do this.
No, it's so...
I don't know. 1 second, stream.
Very
All right, I'm back. Yeah, we're talking about crimes. Because Jaden, sorry for muting, guys, but Jaden wanted to talk about crimes against people, so.
Crimes against
Yes.
humanity.
Oh,
Anyhow.
that's an app.
Oh. Alright, well, anyhow, so after we defeated the white whale, they proceeded to. They used the. Oh, what happened was the kid they met with the dragon was very low on HP. And so he fell to the floor. He's like, no, no. And you hear him crying out, like, to stop. As you watch, like, out of his soul came a bone devil, which is a very horrifying looking creature. And that bone devil is, like, soul linked with the kid. And it proceeded to, like, start attacking the white whale. And some of the party members, it kind of saved the party in the way, though. Usually it would be more of a threat.
Hey, Peter.
Yeah,
Do you have an email I can use?
no.
Can I borrow your email?
You can just make an email.
It's too much work, though.
It takes like 3 seconds.
I need to borrow an email. Just any email. Well, it has to be your email.
Just make an email, bro. It takes 2 seconds.
Well, because I don't want getting emails from, like, a business account.
It's a free email. It doesn't matter.
Let's talk about crime later.
Just talk about crime
It's not
later.
a crime.
We're trying to focus
not
on
a crime.
D&D. This is supposed to be something interesting, and you're turning it into something dumb. This is something very...
I feel like it's pretty interesting, but alright.
It's interesting, but not more interesting than what we're talking about. Anyhow,
Keep talking.
I'm talking about D&D, the thing you quit a long time ago. Yeah, but the
I
Bone
wonder if I
Devil.
could use your school email.
The Bone Devil proceeded to attack the thing, and it helped cause a lot of damage to the white whale. And the white whale got killed off eventually after everyone, just ripped it apart. It was kind of a...
And I was dying in the corner.
I could have made the battle a lot harder, but I decided to make the white whale really dumb for some reason. And at the final phase of the white whale battle, it split up into 3. And they just had to kill off every single last one, and they did.
Yeah, I remember that.
That wasn't really hard, but they could. I
I
could
was
have.
dying in the corner while that happened.
If I actually give them, I just wish I redid it at like a later level, because like if we did it right now, the way the white whale battle would be realistically in D&D, that would be really fun. Because the white whale is like, it's constantly moving, it's huge, and it blasts people from existence. Like, that is awesome. And, we could have done a lot more with that battle, is all I'm saying. Maybe I should.
My name, it's Bill Cipher.
Anyhow.
It's not wrong.
So, after we killed the white whale, they went back, and Peter was like, what? No way. After he revived Chris, of course. He's like, oh, wow, no way. You guys actually did that? That's bizarre. You guys, your debts are beyond free. You guys can stay here for the rest of your journeys, and we will cover your tab for the next week. And, yeah. And after that, they decided...
Well, it ends well, except for my dad.
Yeah. They went to the shop, and they bought some stuff. And they got some muns, they got some stuff. They just got some healing items, like some potions and whatnot. And after that begins the second chapter, which is where we're at right now, but we're pretty far into the second chapter. A little bit past halfway, which is ironic because of how long we've been doing it. So Peter's second chapter begins, and Peter says, "Hey, you guys should we have a town an order straight from the mayor to have your party go down. You guys are proven yourself to be strong enough to take on the white whale, and we don't have a lot of strong adventurers in this town. We'd greatly appreciate it if you guys could go down there and just explore around, tell us, map it out, and whatnot." You don't have to worry, because the kid's been mapping it out, by the way, Chris, just in case you were wondering. Because the Kid Schlatt and Oh, well, that's not introduced yet. The Kit and Schlatt have been with them the whole time. You can only use one NPC per battle, is the whole gimmick, which is why they can't just
The
have
other
like all
guy
three of them.
right in the corner with pom poms just cheering us on.
Literally, that's their whole thing. Is they're like way off, hidden. They're probably using like a cloak or something, but I don't know. But they're just holding the stuff and like mapping out and doing all the annoying work.
Yeah.
While you guys go there and adventure and kill stuff while they're over there, like, okay, map this part. Oh wow, that monster did this. Better write it down. While they look at you with a death stare, why for not using them the whole time. And then they go down to this. So the first floor, I'll just tell every floor if I can remember every single one, or I'll just tell you the ones that were important. So the first floor, they walk. There's nothing there. There's a single gold piece on the floor. They continue down to the next floor. The next floor had a gap, a big old. Had a big old gap, which they had to get across. So Ryan picked up the druid, Gerardo, and just threw him across the whole ravine, and then Gerardo used his rope and they tied it up to each other using like a throw and got really lucky. And they pull, and they crawl across the rope. Chris almost falls. Was it Chris or who was it? No, Chris wasn't there for the first day. Chris wasn't there. So it was either, I think it was my, the other guy who plays sometimes. I forgot his name. I think it's not Blake. Blah, 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 blah. I feel bad for forgetting his name right now. Here, let me check the Discord. No. The guy who got saved. Brody, that's his name. Brody's the guy who got helped. And, yeah, he's cool. And, so after he got to the other side, they all got to this other side, they go down to the third level. Now, in the third level, there seemed to be what was in the third level now? Oh, yeah, there was, there was just a couple encounters. I think this one was a basic encounter. Then the next level, there was a cool encounter because there were two demon dogs, and there was a very powerful demon dog too. And he and the two shadow demon dogs, which were the weaker ones, they actually dished out a lot of damage and almost killed Ryan. But Ryan used his trump card and basically killed them all.
I was there for that.
You were there?
Yep, I was there for that. I remember he.
Oh, that's right. You were there. I forget.
Hey, Casey.
Yeah.
Is it alright if I text you something real quick?
Go ahead.
I'll just need a code.
Don't use my phone number for whatever you're doing, boy.
I can't use mine.
Well, oh my God, you're so. Why not? Why can't you use yours?
Well, because I did something on accident, and it wasn't supposed to make me require a phone number. But now it is.
Hey, Peter, Druid Man is asking something.
What was he asking?
This will be genius if I can do it.
Can I have different magic items? You don't want the literal godly item that you have you don't want the gold dragon whatever, I guess.
Speaking of magic items, Amulet of HELLP?
I kind of wanted someone to have that item, though. It's such a cool item.
Oh, wait. Can I quickly recap the items that they all got before? So, Logan got a box of necromancy. Basically a bunch of necromancy magic stuff. And he got a thing that he can turn into a dragon, adult golden dragon.
No, that's not true. That's not right. Okay, I'll explain it when we get to that part. Let's just get there.
I got a spear that does a cold spear and 5 extra health.
Permanent. Yeah. And let me explain what's actually going on. So after they dealt that, whatever, they just continue. Every floor has a cool little thing. I usually do improv for the floors, but I just do a completely random idea, or I have a couple pre-written floors too here and there. And every floor has a cool encounter. I try to make it fun. I think everyone's been having fun with them. I hope at least.
Yeah, I've been having fun.
Yeah, no, I've given a lot of stuff like oh, lava walls. Oh, there's there's I try to make sure there's not only battles. I try to add some actual time for doing parkour. We need to. What I'm gonna do after this for sure is I'm gonna give you guys more freedom and time for role play, because you guys aren't really role playing your characters as much as I'd like you to. Which kind of is the point of D&D. So I'll give you guys more time for that, and I'll have Galar in
it has been a lot of
conversations.
battling and puzzling, so yeah.
I mean, it's a dungeon. What do you expect? I don't think the dungeon's gonna have the most time for times where you can be like, But I'm sure we can figure something out. But for now, you guys are getting through.
All right. Here's the thing. My screen time limit is up, so I can't receive messages.
Boy,
Are you sure it'll be like a one-time thing? It won't message you again. It's like when you sign
fine.
Thank you, Casey.
No one was supposed to know that. I'm joking. Anyhow. So continuing.
What is your number again? Okay, there it is.
So yeah, let me just tell it on stream. Great idea.
So 761.
No.
942.
No. Anyhow, High School Musical, the series, the special.
No, it's High School Musical, the musical, the series, the special.
That's great. All right.
Okay, what's the number or what's the code?
203092.
Well, we're like hackers.
203092.
Okay, thanks.
You have a bird with you now. So continuing the story. So they get to level 10, and every 10th level, there's 50 levels in the whole dungeon, by the way, which is a lot. And every 10th level, there is a boss. There is a challenge for them. Now, on the 10th level, I think we had the Hydra, right? We had the Hydra.
Yeah, that's fair.
And they, actually, a lot of them died, surprising, amount, because the thing was ripping them apart. But they eventually finished it off. It was a Hydra, believe it or not. Yeah, but they eventually finished it off. They all healed up.
By the way, I would like to say not multicolored head. It's Greek mythology Hydra, not multicolored dragon.
Yeah. But it was a cool little encounter. I really liked that one. That one was fun to play for me, and hopefully it was fun to fight. I can't think of anything significant beyond the fact that Logan almost died to getting hit with rocks over and over because he kept pushing random levers in a room where he shouldn't have been. So he almost got killed by rocks out of everything.
Yeah. Because what happened was he went past some lava thing, I think it was, and it was like, okay, here's a lever to
Yeah.
Here's a lever. He pulls it. A rock hits him, deals 10 damage. He turns around. There's another lever, and he keeps asking if there's more levers. So you add 2 more levers.
I was literally just gonna give it to him. Is there more? I'm like, oh, now there is because you asked, freaking idiot.
And then, so what he does in his infinite genius, he takes a rope, ties it around all the levers, and says, "You know, it would be a good idea pulling them all at once." So he does. He gets hit by 2 more rocks and has 2 health.
That's true.
But yeah.
Yeah, that was really funny. And all right, now continuing. So after that, they went through the levels, and nothing really significant happens. They did find a couple baby. Oh, what happens? Actually, something significant did happen. They met Old Man Galar again from the earlier, if you guys remember. Old Man Galar, except he got buff and he got swag, so he got really cool, yo, what's up, nerds? And what happened was, ever since his god died, he went down to train, and he's like, oh, my thing I've been following is a fake. I'm gonna become ripped. Sorry, I'm
it didn't
charging.
work.
All right.
What a shame.
Anyhow, who cares, man? But
I was so close to finding it too.
anyhow. So, sorry. Yeah, but Galar, he was level, he's 2 levels above them no matter what. And every time they level up, every 10th level they level up.
Why
And
do
by
you
the
think
time...
you keep using him other than the same level
Oh,
fighter?
no,
Or
no, 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 no. Fighter is also level, same level as Glar. The kid is actually same level as you guys, but he can use powerful healing now that he's your level, and also he can use also he can use some more monsters. I'm gonna give him some new stuff since he's getting more leveled up pretty soon here, so you guys could start actually wanting to use them again.
Mhm.
But
what are you gonna do now that school's ended?
Nothing. We just play over Discord. We've been playing over Discord. It's really fun.
I can do that too now. I have dice at home. Is my character still there? What even happened?
If you still want to play, you can still play.
All right.
Yeah, we're currently level 7.
Yeah, they've gone really far. Like they're over here. You know. I'll tell you. Here, just you wait, Jane. Let me tell you what they were fighting compared to earlier. So before, the whole team had to take on a single freaking chain devil, which is a weaker devil, one of the weakest devils even. Now continuing, so they get to floor 19. They dealt with dragons and Gular, and they had some emotional moments here and there with like meeting the champion.
Good.
We're not gonna give. I don't want to give a lot of descriptions because I just want to kind of get this. I just want to kind of tell Jaden what happened most recently, which was today and not yesterday, the past few days, which was most interesting. We've been playing like up to every day now, and we've been having a lot of fun. But
Yeah, and so we got to this area with a goblin, and he basically
wait. Level 20. That's important. Level 20. They fought an adult blue dragon, which literally basically killed them all. But they still but they ultimately were fine. And then after
we went to this floor with a goblin who basically said, I got a bunch of doors. I'm gonna roll dice for everyone here. You go through the door of number I roll. I get the highest number, and I go into a room with a demon, an ice demon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ice devil.
Ice devil is one of the most strong. He's a very powerful guy, and he's like really cool, and he can make ice walls while like stabbing the crap out of the guy with a spear. And I gave him an offer, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm amazed he didn't accept it, but I gave him an option. In turn for either 10 of your permanent HP or -5 to one of your random stats, you can have him help you forever. And keep in mind, this ice devil has like 146 HP, which is a lot. He could be a damage sponge while like Chris Moon's like smashing the shit out of the monster.
Here's why I didn't say yes. He was getting off some very evil vibes.
He's giving some bad vibes, man. But so I expected.
Not only that. Shut up. -10 health. I am a Hexblade Warlock. I am going to be really front up there a lot of the times. I'm going to be the one being attacked often a lot of the times. So why would I want to lower my health? And also -5 to any stat. That's like a -2 or 3 modifier in one stat to get, which I guess is cool, but not really my style. Though I just said counter alone, or I smite you to whatever layer of hell you came from, and then I smited him to whatever layer of hell he came from.
Yeah, which was very alarming. The battle's very intense. I actually fully expected him to die, and I made him get ready his next character and everything, because I actually was trying to kill him off. But lucky to some very bad rolls, and Chris getting some very lucky roll. Well, he didn't cheat. I saw him roll. And I knew that Chris didn't cheat at the time because he got a couple really bad rolls.
How do you make a character? I mean, how do you make a mob?
A mob?
Or like a monster?
You just there's a website for it, or you can just there's a book of monsters.
I want to make one.
If you want to make one, I can tell you what website to go to. But for now, let's finish this.
Finish this.
So finish him. So in D&D, so
Yeah, I
Chris
killed this
destroyed the
guy.
thing, and he gets 5 permanent HP, and he stole a spear, and he gave the body to Logan, so Logan can use it for cool stuff, because of course he can.
Whatever he wants to do with it.
Anyhow, yeah, but then everyone else saw Chris Moon destroy this thing. They're like, hey, we want to do a solo challenge too. Well, beforehand, everyone did do a solo challenge because there's 4. The goblin said, you guys will all go through a random room. And they rolled, and then, I rolled for them, and then they all threw.
I got the highest.
Literally, Chris Moon got very hard. Gerardo got easy. Gerardo fought a single skeleton. Logan got hard, and he fought like he was dealing with a flesh room, and there was also like some flesh monsters. And then, very hard was Chris Moon's, and he had to fight the deal. And he somehow won, which wasn't part of the plan. I figured he'd just accept the deal and have a really powerful ally, but nope. He chose the very interesting path of ripping it apart. And so everyone wanted to do that as well. So it's funny. Noah wanted to do it, and Noah's our old campaign, our old DM, but he canceled his game for me because, we were playing. Sorry, I paused. What was I saying?
He canceled his game because of you.
Oh yeah, he canceled his game because he ran out of players.
How
good
much,
players.
Like, health does like a really strong something have?
Like, what are you thinking? Like, beginner game, middle game, or hard game?
And hard game.
Like end game?
Yeah, end game.
Probably like 600 health, 500.
600. Okay.
Like as a boss.
1,000 is a lot.
Would be, yeah. Anyhow,
Okay, and how much damage is a lot?
Probably like 2d20.
Like if it says damage modifier.
Damage modifier? No, it's damage is 2d20. So it'd be a 2d20 for 2d20, because to do damage you have to roll dice.
Mm-hmm.
So 2d20 would be two 20-sided dice, and you'd put the numbers together and do that much damage. So if you want to do like insane amounts of damage, you'd be like, okay, 10d20.
Like I'm saying, like a monster though.
Yeah, I know.
A monster doing damage. What was?
Yeah.
Oh, you roll for the monster.
Yeah, you always roll for the monsters.
Okay.
Yep, Baroni. That's how it works. Excuse me. And then after, but yeah, so after Chris dealt with Mr. Ice Guy, Noah dealt with a lion drake, which isn't anything crazy, but it's still a pretty cool thing. Actually, originally he was trying to fight a Draco Hydra, which is a Hydra but with multicolored heads, and it's basically like a weaker aspect of Tiamat or whatever, Tiamat, and he, highly overestimated himself since he got destroyed. I felt so bad. I'm like, here, okay, you won't actually die in game because it was his choice to fight that thing. I'm like, I never wanted him to fight that. I'm like, here, let me give you a proper fight for being difficult and also not being something you can handle. So I gave him a lion drake, and I was correct. He dealt with it pretty well. And he dealt with it. He killed it. And then after that, Gerardo fought. I literally can't remember what he fought. He fought something so easy and unrememberable, but he fought something, and he won. It was literally like a challenge rating 2, I think, or 3, but he fought something. Huh?
It was like some sort of metal spike demon.
Oh, not that thing. He failed that thing.
Oh, of course.
He failed immediately after you left. So after he left, we tried again, and then he failed immediately, and I felt bad because I literally said his character is underleveled. So I'm like, here, let's just do this, and then I forgot what I did. But Logan, which we did today, which was the most cool. Like, if I wish I had fans and a fan base, because if I did, I'd beg my fans to animate this, like, you know, the artsy community, have them like make a little animation of this, because he fought a giant worm, basically. I don't know how to describe it. It has tentacles coming out of his mouth, but it's a huge worm, like gargantuan sized, and it was and he soloed the thing. It had 331 HP. 331. And he soloed it. So what he did to start off, now to be fair, I did let him get away with some weird, you know, bullcrap homebrew type stuff. But what he did to start was he put explosives.
High hell.
He put like explosive liquid. I can't remember what he mixed it, but he said, like, I think it was it was pyrite, fake fool's gold, and some sort of acid. I can't remember, but he did something. I don't remember, but he poured it all around the worm because the worm was asleep. He poured it all around the worm. The worm's huge. I don't know how realistically that'd be a very long walk around the worm, but he poured it, and he ran away to the farthest corner of the room, and he used firebolt. Which exploded the whole thing and did like I think it did like 68 damage. It did quite a bit, and which 68 is not crazy much for like most D&D players, but you know, for what he was doing, it was pretty cool, especially for a first move. And he still had another attack to go because the worm got a lower initiative than him because it got a natural 1. So I literally just said, yeah, you can go first. I don't care. So the worm, so he proceeds to, I can't tell you every single one of his moves, but it consisted of him knocking it back with spells and running away from it. And like while the worm was like smacking him around against the wall, he would dodge it, and like, you know, like you shatter, then he'd be like, oh, I'll roll. I don't know, he's just doing such cool stuff like shatter, thunder wave, and like switching between these
I
things.
gotta go in like a minute, like really soon.
Okay.
Well, let me just tell you about this character real quick. It's
Okay.
the Demon King, you know, and he has 1,033 hit points,
Right.
1,010 armor class.
Not possible.
Attack is +5 to hit, and then 1,003 damage. All right.
That's impossible
also,
to beat.
He
Go
has
on.
a legendary action where once killed by a player, that player must roll a d20 to kill it completely. If a d20 is not rolled, that player is permanently killed, and the Demon King is revived at quarter health and 10 times the rage.
Oh, that's so fair.
Yeah, right.
1,000? Did you say 1,000 armor class?
Something like that. I don't.
It's not even physically possible to kill. Great,
You roll a
great.
D20
That's
to
just
hit.
You roll a d20 to hit. Yeah, d20 for 1 damage.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's very balanced. I love it. But what else? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that's right. So, but to finish off the worm, what he did was he got copper wire, and he got a like a perfect roll. Not perfect roll, not d20, but like something close. But he got it and wrapped it around the worm. And he got a good dexterity check, so I let him do it. And he pulled as hard as he could, and he did some crazy damage. And like the thing was like barely alive. And then for his final turn, because the worm attacked him and missed, it like went to slam him and finish him off, but it missed. And so for his final turn, he ran at it with his 2 great swords and just chopped it in half and finished off, you know, where the tethering, you know, where the gold wire, copper wire was. So it's already like chopped up. Well, oh no, sorry. What he did he imbued his spell into it. The copper wire he used, I don't know, some sort of electrifying magic
grasp.
thing. Yeah, shocking grasp. Grasp?
Grasp.
Yeah, whatever he says. But he used that, and you know, it basically just like ripped the poor thing apart and did some crazy damage. And then after that, and so the craziest, but yeah, he chopped it off, and I was so happy. I don't know, I was so giddy when he won because you could tell he was like trying his best. And Chris, like that was such an entertaining battle. Like he was like literally shocking it back while like running at it, and then he was getting beat up a bit too. There's one point where he was like. Sorry, my friend texted me. Yeah, but there's a point where he's like 5 HP, literally at like 5, and he healed himself, and then he was fine because he can literally heal like 30 damage a damn turn. But still, it was a very entertaining battle. It was very fun to play, and it was very fun to watch. I'd assume, Chris. But yeah, all right. Well, anything you guys want to say before stream ends? Because I just wanted to give the whole D&D story. There's a lot more to come with the story. I'll probably update you guys after we end chapter 3, probably, which will be a while, realistically a couple months. But we'll see how it goes. Anything you want to say, Chris?
Yeah. I got Divine Smite. I can smite things.
It's crazy. And Jaden, you plan
on? Next level, I get my subclass
that's
for
cool.
Paladin.
Jaden, do you plan on playing?
He left.
Oh, funny. All right, that's really cool. I'm actually kind of excited for Noah's campaign, which is gonna. So how it's gonna work is this world. We're gonna keep keeping my world because my world concept is a very easy thing to run off of since it's so big that there's not really a lot you can't do, it's a lot of. And so chapter 2 we'll be considered heroes in the world, and Noah will be taking over the campaign, and it'll be like a new game. It's like chapter 1, for me, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapters. I think there's gonna be 5 chapters in my story at least. But for Noah,
Noah it will be Gen 2 chapter 1, Gen 2 chapter 2.
He's like Gen 2 is going to be the next game, and we're going to be considered I keep saying we're as if I'm a character in the game. They're going to be considered legends in the world, and I'm actually going to be, and in my story, I don't know how this is going to work because I don't know about the time of it, but I'm going my backstory for my next character who I already made is he's literally the son of Schlatt. He's the son of Latch, this character. And I feel like that'll be fun to do. And like, oh yeah, my dad, he adventured with them. He took down notes. He told me how they're kind of scumbags sometimes. Like, oh, that's right. Recently, we had the most dark and grim moment of all of D&D, like in all of our campaign. And that was, they found this kid with a disease. And I gave them 2 options. And because his mom gave them, this was I set this all up just to make them feel bad, make people sad galore. And so I said, hey, there's a quest. There's a mom. Before they went down to the dungeon, the mom overheard Peter and said, my son has been missing, and we live near the opening of the dungeon. Could you please look for my son and bring him to me? And she gave him a quest. And now when they leave, they're gonna have to talk to her. And Logan had to. And when they found the child, they found out that he had a disease, and he was probably gonna die soon, maybe. And it might be spreadable, highly spreadable, maybe. And so they had the decision of killing off the kid there, or letting him run up to his mom. And so with like very depressing moment
and this kid was, for a sick kid, this kid was very fast. He could outrun a centaur apparently.
I guess, but he was like
outrun a soldier centaur.
Well, he wouldn't outrun you. How would he outrun you?
You said earlier, he would run out. So I said, wait, I'm a centaur. I have a 40-foot.
You'd probably catch him realistically if he did try to do anything.
Yeah, realistically, but for story and actually for story reasons, I couldn't.
Yeah, it's for story stuff. Anyhow, but this kid,
we didn't just take the best of both worlds.
You had to choose either to kill him, and you guys are gonna have to lie to his mom, or you can tell the truth and have her hate you. But whatever.
Now,
But
see, I've been saying we found him dead.
yeah, for real.
Mm.
But you know, they killed a child, and it turns out that Galar actually showed some
Was his
emotion,
grandfather.
and he was his grandfather, and he was crying. It was a very sad scene. Everyone, for the first time ever, Logan actually showed emotion, like
Yeah.
his character, and slightly in real life, and and everyone kind of just gave a moment of silence, and I really liked that moment in D&D because it was very heartfelt moment of to show how dark and grim, but also how far we've come and how much power you guys have in your game. And you guys ultimately chose the smart choice. You guys did have to kill him. You guys didn't want any other people to get sick.
The reason I had my character make the decision he did was because he was a soldier, and as a soldier, you're about protecting the people.
That's
so
true.
For a long period of his life, he was all about protecting of the people. So this thing that could harm the people was not something he was about to do.
Yeah, so he ultimately decided the ultimate choice, and they killed him. And sad, very grim, but it was really fun. They moved on, and they tried to tame a baby dragon later on, but they ultimately didn't because it was a high.
So yeah, about this amulet of HELLP.
Here, let's end stream before we talk about stuff that's gonna happen, because I don't even. Oh yeah, I gave let me just say this real quick. I gave Gerardo a golden cannery figure, which is basically, I don't know what the actual, I can't remember what that item name is right now, but what it does basically is it's a gold cannery you can summon at all times. And it's not gold cannery, it's a huge cannery, giant cannery. You can fly on it and cast spells and be cool and have a pet cannery. But once a year, it has a year cooldown. You can use it anytime you want. But you can turn it into a adult gold dragon, which is insane. Like in a battle, if you're like losing, you're like, oh, let me just go ahead and, hey, cannery, and then turns into it, and then the cannery turns into a gold dragon.
Yeah, just like once a year, he can say, "We win this battle."
It's like, guys, I got an idea, and then literally just summons a gold dragon out of his ass. That is such a cool thing. Like, I would gladly take that. And I kind of like, I hope Noah does this more than I do, but I want him to give more magic items out. Like, oh, you guys find a chest and you find blah blah blah. I'm probably gonna start doing that. That's kind of the main reason I asked for you guys to give me magical items you want. It's probably because I'm gonna put some in chests around. So I think that's the plan for as far as that goes.
So yeah, about this amulet of health I've been talking about.
Constitution 19, yeah. I read the stats, man. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching. It's been a really great episode here. We've had a lot of fun talking about D&D, Dungeons and Dungeons and Dungeons and Dungeons and kind of Dragons.